Riva Petroleum. Exploration for tomorrow. Following the 49ers' great gold rush to California in the early 1800s came a new discovery. Black gold. Once refined, it would light up entire cities and power new machines. As technology came of age, so too did the oil companies. Riva Petroleum Incorporated is a Canadian-based company committed to oil and gas exploration and acquisition in both the United States and Canada. Early in 1991, Riva entered into a joint venture led by Samadin Oil Corporation, a wholly owned subsidiary of New York-listed Noble Affiliates Incorporated, one of the United States' leading independent oil companies. Moving into the famous oil belt of Southern California, Riva and its partners have commenced the drilling of a major structural feature, the Pico Anticline. Just 30 miles north of downtown Los Angeles, the Pico Anticline lies in the Ventura Basin, which has produced more than 2 billion barrels of oil to date. Located within this prolific hydrocarbon area, Riva's drill site is virtually surrounded by producing oil fields with more than 190 million barrels of oil already produced from fields within a few miles of the structure. Riva has acquired more than 8 square miles of land, covering practically the entire Pico structure, by leasing mineral rights and through a farm-in agreement with Chevron USA. The target? A potential giant field containing 625 million barrels of recoverable oil. A well drilled in 1987 called the Towsley No. 1 was the key to the understanding of the subsurface geology of the Pico Anticline. This well, which bottomed at 15,816 feet, yielded numerous oil shows deep within the structure and indicated the most probable area to search for a major structural trap. To make the operation as cost-effective as possible, Riva and its partners elected to re-enter the Towsley No. 1 well to a depth of approximately 10,800 feet and to drill directionally from there for up to 6,000 feet more to test the oil potential of the primary target, the Sespe Formation. The Sespe Formation ranges in thickness up to 7,000 feet in the basin, with up to 50% of the gross thickness being reservoir-quality sand. Underlying the Pico Anticline, it is expected to be about 2,000 feet thick, with an estimated area of closure of about 6 square miles. More than 70 truckloads of drilling equipment were moved to the Towsley No. 1 well site. Utilizing 2 large cranes, the various components were soon assembled. The derrick was raised and the support systems rigged up. A versatile polymer drilling fluid system was prepared to manage the technical challenges posed by exploratory drilling. Well control equipment was installed to handle potential high-pressure formations. Efficient and functional, the drilling rig and associated equipment was an essential component for deep exploration. In addition, state-of-the-art directional drilling tools and advanced guidance technology will be employed to ensure the well penetrates the potentially oil-rich Sespe Formation.
Because of the complex nature of this well, we've employed the latest technology for our downhole assemblies. It will enable us to achieve the highest degree of success both on an engineering and a geological basis.
One of the unique qualities of the Pico Anticline project for Riva is its close association with the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, a dedicated environmental organization which owns lands adjacent to the drilling site. Riva and its partners are proud to have developed an excellent working relationship with the Conservancy, implementing capital improvements to this environmental preserve, many in response to the worst flooding in recent years. The park's access road was both repaired and re-gravelled twice. New extended culverts were installed to accommodate future flooding. Previous flood debris was removed.
Since our road was so badly damaged in the February storms this last year, it was a help that Riva and their contractors needed to resurface that road in order to get the drill rig in.
Riva Riva Petroleum Incorporated is a dynamic publicly traded company listed on the Vancouver Stock Exchange. With only 7 million shares currently outstanding, 11 million if fully diluted, the potential impact of a major oil discovery on the value of Riva's shares would be very significant. Riva's 30% working interest in the project equates to a net revenue interest of about 20% after giving effect to royalties payable to fee simple mineral owners and the farm-in arrangement with Chevron USA. Riva estimates that potential reserves of up to 625 million barrels of oil could be contained within the structure. If that proves to be the case, Riva's interest could be worth $970 million US. Taking into account the projected development costs for an oil reservoir of that size, approximately $100 million US for Riva's share, the adjusted total potential value to Riva is $870 million US.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Market Wrap. I'm Ted David. According to a recent report from the API, the domestic oil production has fallen to its lowest level in more than 30 years. Weak demand and excess supplies have driven big oil companies to explore for oil outside the U.S. But as Jerry Cobb reports, the depressed state of domestic drilling offers opportunities for the small independent firm willing to take the risk.
It's the last thing you'd expect to find in this protected wilderness area. One of the biggest operating oil rigs in the nation, going after one of California's largest potential oil finds in 50 years. Low oil prices and tough environmental regulations have discouraged major oil companies from these kinds of projects. That's why this one is a joint venture headed by a small Canadian exploration firm.
The oil companies are spending more time on the larger plays outside the country and the offshore. But remember something, that leaves a vacuum for a little company like me to move in where they left.
Gray and his partners are actually re-drilling a well abandoned by Goodyear's former Celeron energy unit. But instead of going straight down, this team will drill horizontally to penetrate what geological studies indicate is a 650 million barrel reservoir of black gold. If and when his rig strikes oil, it won't come gushing out of the top. Instead, this blowout protection system will keep the oil safely underground until it's ready to be brought to surface. That's just one of the many environmental safeguards this project had to have in place to satisfy environmentalists.
Well, there was a series of state regulations and county regulations that we had to comply with regarding the handling of any hazardous material or drilling fluids.
The rig also had to be electrically powered rather than diesel powered, and to win support from the Nature Conservancy, which owns the parkland, the drillers had to improve the roads. While environmental considerations like these can be difficult for the majors, they're not for the small independents.
They can make the decisions. They have a quicker turnaround on those decisions and have access to the decision makers within their company, more so than say, a project proposed in a larger company.
Analysts say until oil prices rise again, domestic drilling will continue to decline from its current rate of 300,000 barrels a day. But Robert Gray says he's willing to throw some $3 million down this hole, because if there's as much oil down there as his maps say there is, he'll make money no matter what happens to oil prices. Jerry Cobb, CNBC, Los Angeles.